In my years of observing people, their behaviors, and the choices they make, I've come to a striking realization. Intelligence isn't just about the amount of knowledge you possess. It's about how you live your life, treat others, and grow from your mistakes. But here's where it gets interesting. There are 6 clear signs that reveal when someone might be lacking in wisdom. Now, before you roll your eyes or dismiss this as just another list, hear me out. This isn't about judging others. It's about self-reflection, growth, and helping ourselves and others break free from harmful habits. Recognizing these signs is a tool for transformation. So, are you ready to take a journey into the depths of human behavior? Together, let's uncover the 6 undeniable signs of a foolish person. Each one carries a powerful lesson, and every lesson holds a mirror up to our lives. Let's begin. 1. A closed mind. Picture a fortress built with bricks of fear, pride, and stubbornness. That's a closed mind. It resists new ideas and shuts out opportunities for growth. People with closed minds cling to their familiar ways, rejecting anything that challenges their worldview. To them, anything different isn't an opportunity, it's a threat. But here's the irony. Their outward confidence is often just a mask. True confidence lies in admitting that you don't have all the answers and staying open to learning. Let me tell you about Mark, a department manager I once knew. Despite clear signs that his team was falling behind competitors, Mark insisted on sticking to outdated methods, saying, "If it's worked for 10 years, why change it now?" When a younger employee suggested modernizing with new tools, Mark dismissed the idea outright. The result? His team's performance lagged, while others embraced innovation and thrived. Instead of taking responsibility, Mark blamed his staff, the market, and even bad luck. A closed mind doesn't just hinder personal growth, it holds back everyone around it. The truly wise, however, understand that admitting ignorance is the first step toward wisdom. As the Stoics remind us, growth comes from adapting and improving. If you see this tendency in yourself, challenge it. Be brave enough to say, "I was wrong and I want to learn." Only then can the walls of ignorance crumble, making way for true wisdom. 2. Constant blaming. Some people are experts in excuses. For them, nothing is ever their fault. If a project fails, the market was too tough. If they miss out on a promotion, their boss was unfair. But let's be real, blaming others is just a way to dodge accountability. Unfortunately, this habit becomes a self-imposed prison, locking them away from genuine growth. Take Lisa, an event organizer I worked with. She was in charge of planning a major conference, but attendance was abysmal. Instead of looking inward, Lisa immediately blamed the marketing team for failing to promote the event. But the truth soon came out. She had delayed sending the necessary details, which disrupted the entire campaign. Even then, she refused to own up to her mistake. Here's the thing. Responsibility might be uncomfortable, but it's the gateway to growth. The wisest people embrace their mistakes because they know that facing the truth leads to improvement. Stoic philosophy teaches us that mastering responsibility is the first step to mastering life. So, the next time you catch yourself pointing fingers, pause and ask, what role did I play? What can I do better next time? Blaming won't change the past, but taking responsibility will shape your future. 3. Arrogance over humility. Have you ever met someone who always needs to be the smartest person in the room? That's arrogance, and it's one of the biggest barriers to growth. Arrogant people love the sound of their own voice, but they miss out on the wisdom that comes from listening. Michael, a manager at a large corporation, is a perfect example. In every meeting, he dominated the conversation, interrupted his colleagues, and dismissed their ideas. When a project under his leadership failed, he blamed his team for not understanding his vision. But the truth, his arrogance and refusal to listen caused the downfall. Humility, on the other hand, isn't about shrinking yourself. It's about expanding your ability to learn. The truly wise understand that they can learn from anyone, anywhere. If you find yourself caught in arrogance, stop and ask, am I trying to grow, or am I just trying to prove I'm right? Real growth begins when we replace arrogance with curiosity. 4. Lack of empathy. One of the clearest signs of foolishness is a lack of empathy, the inability to step into someone else's shoes, understand their feelings, or appreciate their struggles. Without empathy, people isolate themselves, damage relationships, and often hurt others without realizing it. Let me introduce you to Paul, a colleague who always criticized others without ever understanding their circumstances. Once, when a co-worker named Susan missed a deadline because her child was seriously ill, Paul publicly berated her in front of the entire team. He didn't stop to ask why or consider her situation. Ironically, a year later, Paul found himself in a similar position, caring for his ailing mother. Only then did he realize how much harm his lack of empathy had caused. You see, empathy isn't just about kindness. It's about building meaningful connections and learning from the experiences of others. Stoic philosophy reminds us that true wisdom doesn't come from knowing everything, but from connecting deeply with others. Empathy bridges the gap between ignorance and understanding. If you feel disconnected or struggle to relate to others, start by truly listening without judgment. It's a small step, but it can lead to profound personal growth and deeper relationships. 5. Fear of change. The comfort zone might feel safe, but it's also a trap. Those who fear change cling to outdated habits, even when they no longer serve them. They resist the flow of life, trying desperately to hold on to the familiar. But here's the truth. Life is like a river. It bends, flows, and transforms constantly. Take Michael, a man who spent his entire life in the same small neighborhood. He loved its familiarity, the faces he knew, and the routines he had built. But over time, things began to change. Friends moved away, shops closed, and the neighborhood wasn't what it used to be. Despite his children encouraging him to move closer to them for better opportunities, Michael resisted, saying, "This is home." Eventually, he made the leap, and when he did, he discovered a new environment filled with opportunities and a deeper connection with his family. The fear of change had kept him stagnant for years, but embracing it opened up a whole new world. The Stoics teach us that change is inevitable. Resisting it only leads to frustration and missed opportunities. If you're clinging to the familiar, ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen if I embrace change? And what's the best that could happen? Life doesn't wait. Growth only begins when you step outside your comfort zone. 6. Talking more than listening. We all know someone who dominates every conversation, cutting others off and ignoring their perspectives. This is a hallmark of foolishness, talking endlessly without truly listening. It not only alienates others, but also blocks personal growth. John, a father I once knew, was guilty of this. Every evening at dinner, he monopolized the conversation with his stories, barely giving his children or wife a chance to speak. When his wife offered financial suggestions or his kids tried to share their school experiences, John interrupted, convinced his way was best. Over time, his family felt unheard and unvalued. His refusal to listen created a rift, leaving his loved ones distant and frustrated. What John failed to realize is that listening isn't just a courtesy. It's a gateway to understanding and connection. The Stoics believed in the power of silence, teaching that listening is a path to wisdom. Talking without listening is like planting seeds in barren soil. Nothing will grow. If you see yourself in John's story, start making a change. Pause. Let others speak. Listen not just to reply, but to understand. True wisdom lies in valuing the voices around you. And now let's wrap this up. We've explored the 6 signs of foolishness. But before you rush to ask, "Am I foolish?" pause for a moment. The truth is, all of us have fallen into these traps at some point, whether it's arrogance, fear of change, or blaming others. Recognizing these signs isn't about shaming yourself, it's about self-improvement. Each of these traits holds a golden opportunity for growth. The Stoics remind us that wisdom isn't about being perfect. It's about constantly learning, adapting, and striving to be better. So if you see a bit of yourself in these stories, take it as a challenge. Step out of your comfort zone. Embrace humility. Listen more. Take responsibility. Because here's the thing. Foolishness is temporary, but wisdom is a lifelong journey, and you're not alone on this path. Together, we can grow, learn, and become wiser each day. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's continue exploring the lessons that shape us into the best versions of ourselves. Thank you for watching.